Here in Britain, the Royal Mail have to process an incredible 84 million items of post every single day and ensure all these letters and parcels reach any destination in the British Isles in just 24 hours. So, how do they do it? This is the quiet Scottish island of Carrera, where Ned Rimmer lives with his wife and his horse. Ned and his wife don't get out much, and nor does the horse. And compared with the average British home, which is regularly snowed under with an avalanche of junk mail, they don't get much post. Ned's sister Elizabeth lives 800 kilometres away in London, and she's left it until the very last moment to send him a birthday card. At least she remembered, which at her age is a feat in itself. With just 24 hours for her card to reach Ned before he begins to feel old and unloved, she's banking her precious 32 pence on the Royal Mail getting it to him in time. At 10:45 AM, the card is collected by postal worker Nancy Bryant. Nancy's task is to get her mail to the Gatwick Mail Centre on the outskirts of London. But to do this, she first has to get through London's congested traffic, and there's no shortcut. Every delay increases the chance of the card not arriving tomorrow morning, and it takes Nancy almost 3 hours to reach the mail centre. It's 1 o'clock by the time Ned's card arrives. Time is ticking away, and the card hasn't even left London yet. Every day, an average of 2.1 million letters have to be sorted here. That means for Ned's card to stand any chance of arriving on time, the Royal Mail need to sort through 150,000 letters every hour. The good news for Ned is the Royal Mail are up to the job, thanks to an automated system called Integrated Mail Processing, or IMP. Here at Gatwick, this state-of-the-art system sorts thousands of letters into their correct destination slots. The first task is to weed out any oversized mail. That's done by Millie the Culler. This huge rotating drum consists of a series of separate fins with narrow gaps between them. These let normal-sized letters pass through, but reject oversized mail, which passes to another series of conveyors for manual sorting. Fortunately, Ned's card slips straight through and enters a dizzying network of belts and wheels. The next task for this amazing machine is to read the addresses. The problem is, it can only do that if letters are facing the right way. The solution is this green tube. It's a kind of high-tech bloodhound, because it's actually a highly sensitive phosphorus detector. And by sniffing out the phosphor in stamps, it can work out which way a letter is pointing. If it's upside down, a network of conveyors can turn the letter the right way round. Unfortunately, Ned's birthday wishes have ground to a halt because his card is both upside down and back to front. But Ned needn't panic, because it takes just a fraction of a second for the conveyor to flip it over and we're off again. The next challenge is reading 150,000 addresses an hour without getting a single postcode wrong. The answer is a high-resolution camera that takes a digital image of each envelope. This image is sent to a bank of address interpretation computers, which can read printed and handwritten addresses and then tell the IMP where to stack the letter. Incredibly, this whole process takes just 21 seconds. Not bad when you think they call it snail mail. But the system isn't perfect. To do its job properly, the IMP needs the full address and postcode. And there are people out there who keep forgetting this basic rule. Don't let me have to tell you again. You know who you are. Of course, with a bit of human intervention, even most badly written addresses can be deciphered quite quickly. But some require the detective skills of Hercule Poirot, or in this case, the Royal Mail's Les Savage.
All letters in this tray have got no addresses, no information to try and find the address, just basically someone's name, and that's it. So we must get about 400 a week for these alone.
If there is no address on the envelope, the letters must be opened by special staff to see if there are any clues inside.
Alan.
Fortunately, Ned's card is properly addressed, and by 6 PM, it's arrived in the Scottish Highlands pigeonhole. Ned is just one of 165,000 people in the UK who share a birthday, and all of whom expect a flurry of birthday cards to tumble onto their doormat tomorrow morning. But how will his card travel 800 kilometres north to Carrera? The answer is by plane, but unfortunately not from the nearby Gatwick Airport. Instead, the card must travel to Stansted Airport, 115 kilometres away, and along the notoriously busy M25 motorway. It's 7:20, and it should take a little over an hour. 3 hours later at Stansted Airport, they're still waiting. Unless it comes soon, they'll have to leave without it. Just in time. There's no passport control or duty-free shopping for Ned's card, and by 10:30 it's finally locked, loaded and ready to take to the sky. It's now 7 AM the next morning, and almost time to say happy birthday to Ned. But where's his card? Well, having landed at Glasgow in the middle of the night, it's now being driven through some of Scotland's most beautiful countryside to Oban, on the west coast, just a few miles from Ned's front door. At 7:45, Ned's birthday card meets Carrera's local postman, Tony. Tony uses the latest SAC on-road technology to sort through Carrera's mail. Ned's card is now in spitting distance of his house. However, there's still a watery hurdle to cross, the Firth of Lorne.
Morning.
So far, Ned's letter has travelled by van, lorry, airplane and ferry. But Carrera offers one last obstacle. Here the roads are mere mud tracks. It's time for some off-road action, so bring on the Easy Rider. And 20 minutes later, at 5 minutes past 8, Ned's card reaches its final destination.
Morning, folks.
Hey, Tony.
I've got my card there for you, Ned.
Thanks, I'll give you a cup of tea in return.
So with the help of an IMP, a plane and an off-roading postman, the Royal Mail has kept its first-class promise and delivered Ned's card in just 24 hours. Ned's delighted and a little confused to get a card from his sister, as it's not his birthday until next month. But never mind, it's the thought that counts.